Hey everybody, Ryan here. As you can see, I'm in my car again. I'm on a little break at work, and the reason why I've been using my phone to do some of these videos is because I'm really wanting to get a lot more videos out. And this week, because I'm been really busy, the quickest way for me to do it is to do it with my phone, especially for, a video like this, my Q&A. Now, all the other videos I'll be doing, with my normal HD camera and the setup, at my house and stuff. But I could just consider this, since I'm not at home, just kind of a vlog, kind of an out and about kind of thing. But I wrote down all the questions, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with my Q&A. All right, from Uber Los Burster, I think that's how you pronounce. I don't know how you pronounce it. He says, "What is your opinion of Last King of Scotland?" I've actually never seen it. I've always wanted to, but I've just haven't gotten around to it. From Dr. Hasline, what movie has changed or has had a significant impact on my life? Well, I've always said it was A Bridge Too Far, Richard Attenborough's movie, about the failed operation during World War II. And that was the movie, I was reading up a lot about World War II when I was in elementary school. And I was like, man, I really want to see a good war movie. I wasn't really into movies as much as I am now. And so I saw it and I was like, man, this movie is amazing. What are some other war movies that I could watch? And so through that, I started getting into movies. And so that movie is really what changed it. It might not be the best movie ever, especially when I look at it now, it does have flaws, but it's still a good movie, and it was a great movie to get me started. And so that one definitely changed my life. And the Clay Singer asks me, a movie that my wife and I can pop in when we're having a bad day. Well, there's really three things, and four things. One of them's not a movie. We are pretty obsessed with Seinfeld and Scrubs, the TV show, and so we have the entire series on DVD, and we always watch one or both on a daily basis, maybe one or two episodes here or there. But two movies that we watch when we're definitely down in the dumps, if we have a bad day, we could always watch When Harry Met Sally and You've Got Mail. I think those two movies are pretty wonderful movies. When Harry Met Sally, I love the dialogue of the film. It's just such a great film. Rob Reiner directing it, Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan. And You've Got Mail, Nora Ephron's movie. I love Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan in that film, and just the story about books and, all that stuff. It's not your typical romance film. And, it's funny looking back at how dated the internet is in the movie. So yeah, that's that. Alright, and Cynical44 asks me, number one, the most elusive film in my wish list, or whatever the object is in my wish list, and I think he means rare, that I can't really get my hands on, or I just can't really afford it. One thing that I really, really, really want, and I've been wanting it for a long time, is the Home Improvement Complete Series box set, but I just never get the money to do it, or to have it. That's one of my number one things that I want. I've been wanting it for a while. There's some criterions Spellbound, Alfred Hitchcock. I really want, let me think. Actually, from this Q&A, I'm actually going to be doing probably about three videos as the questions. I will do the entire video on that, and I think, I'm just going to do this in a video, because I want to be able to give him a really, really good answer. And the same thing for the, actually not for that one. The second question he asked me is 5 films that I would want if I was deserted on an island. And I chose Dumb and Dumber. I just love that movie. The Godfather, Taxi Driver, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and Annie Hall. I love all 5 of those movies, and they're some of my favorite films. So I would definitely get those and bring them with me. But, yeah, hopefully I'm never in that situation. And he also asked me who is my favorite actor and actress. And this was really hard because I like a lot of people, from Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, But right now, it changes probably every year, but right now my favorite actress and actor is Leonardo DiCaprio and Marion Colliard. I don't know. I forgot. I can't pronounce her last name right now. I don't know why. But ever since I saw her in, Public Enemies and some of her like a little bit older films, and especially in the movie 9 with Daniel Day-Lewis, I've always really enjoyed her films that she's in. Inception, and she's in the new Batman, the Dark Knight Rises film, and I just love her as an actress. And Leonardo DiCaprio, I've really liked him my whole life, but every time I watch one of his movies, he's really good at playing a really conflicted character. None of his characters that he ever plays are perfect, and I really like that, and he's really good at bringing that out. My favorite performance by him is probably I think he did amazing in Shutter Island. I thought he was perfect in that film. And of course Inception, but yeah, I really enjoyed him in Inception, sorry. But I really like him in The Departed, Blood Diamond, and what was it? Shutter Island. So, and the next question that Cynical44 is asking me is the last movie that I felt was overhyped and didn't meet my expectations. I picked Avatar because I love James Cameron films. They're always very original. But that film, it was very original in its 3D. I thought the 3D was very innovative. But the story I didn't really feel was, original. I feel like that sort of story has been done before, and I just felt like maybe the movie was overhyped. But I still really enjoyed it, especially in the theater. But literally, I bought it when it came out, and I watched it once, and it just does, to me, it doesn't have great rewatch value. But I will not lie and say that I thought it was great when it came out in theaters, but it just wasn't as original as I thought. But I don't hate the film. I just, sometimes that happens. And his last question is a book I would like to see optioned for a film. And right now I'm in the middle of reading the Ed McBain series about the 87th, I think it's 87th Precinct. And it's like a series of books that's lasted like 40 years. Great mystery books that are like 200 pages. I'd like to see them start with the first book, Cop Hater, and maybe make a franchise out of that. It could be like another Bond franchise, I feel. So I would definitely choose that. Alright. And AZZJS, that's his username. I thought I saw a cop. Not pulling me over, but pulling somebody else over. He asked me to recommend some great picture quality Blu-rays, and so I said Tree of Life, Taxi Driver, Apocalypse Now, Days of Heaven, Citizen Kane, Blade Runner, Seven Samurai. There's a lot more, but those are ones that I could really, think of, and I wrote them down on this paper just because I really think you need these films anyways in your collection. Benway20 asks me my favorite filmmaker working today. I would say either Wes Anderson or Paul Thomas Anderson. Wes Anderson's done wonderful films, Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic, Rushmore, Bottle Rocket, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Darjeeling Limited. He's getting ready to come out with a new film that looks amazing. Paul Thomas Anderson has done, Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, which is my favorite movie of the last decade. Magnolia, and he's getting ready to come out with another film pretty soon. He's just a great filmmaker. He's like a Robert Altman type director where he has a huge cast of characters and intersecting storylines. I just think he's really good, and I think he's the best. Christopher Nolan has to be up there too, so I definitely think Christopher Nolan is too. A film that disappointed me the most, I guess, by a filmmaker that I really liked, that would have to be Kevin Smith, Clerks 2. I love the original Clerks. It's one of my favorite comedies. I just love the film. And when I saw Clerks 2, I actually was really kind of horrified at how it was really, exaggerated gross humor. I don't have a problem with gross humor, but the first film was so natural. It really felt like two guys just hanging out. But I really felt like Clerks 2, they were trying to be disgusting, and it just really did not do it for me. And so I would definitely have to pick that. Alright, Big Toe 512, Steve, has asked me my favorite band. My all-time favorite band, because I like so many different types of music, from Christian rock to classic rock to certain types of metal I even like. I like punk. I like a lot of different stuff. But my all-time favorite band would have to be Blink-182 and Metallica because of the impact that, those bands have had on my life. When I was growing up, I had a little punk band with some friends, and we played, shows, and most of our stuff was punk rock, and it was like covers of Blink-182 songs, and I've always enjoyed their stuff. Angels and Airwaves is Tom DeLonge is a branch off of Blink-182, and Plus 44, I've always loved them. And Metallica, when I started getting into the more classic music and playing, because I play bass, I was just always into Metallica. I was obsessed with all their CDs. I saw them live when they came to Jacksonville and opened with Godsmack, and Godsmack opened for them. It was just an amazing show. I had front row floor seats. James Hetfield threw picks and stuff, and Lars actually came out on stage and actually poured his water on me, and I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, my favorite soundtrack, he also asked, is anything by Hans Zimmer or John Williams. I love, and I also really love the Blade Runner soundtrack and the Alexander soundtrack by Vangelis, or however you say it. But my favorite John Williams score has to be a tie between Hook and E.T. I really love both of those scores. He says, acclaimed films that I've never seen. Well, I haven't seen most of the films in the Criterion Collection, even though I'm a big Criterion fan. I'm going to have to do this in a future video, because I think there's a lot that I haven't seen. And so, I will definitely do that. And I think the next question was if I can meet any director, and I think it said living or dead. I would definitely pick Stanley Kubrick. He's my all-time favorite director, and he was a very good master chess player. And even though I'm awful at chess, I would still challenge him to a game of chess, just to say I had a great chess game, and I got beat by Stanley Kubrick. Alright. Cineram. I don't know how you... I have never known how he wanted anybody to pronounce it, but awesome guy. He asked me these questions. 5 favorite directors: Martin Scorsese, Woody Allen, David Lynch, Alfred Hitchcock, and Federico Fellini. Alright. He says my 10 favorite 90s films. I'm going to be doing that as a future favorite series. When I'm finally done with my favorite movie series, I'm going to do that. And he also asked me kind of the same question that Dr. Hasline did about a movie that significantly impacted my life, and like I said before, it was A Bridge Too Far. Alright, Final Fantasy X Fan 131 says, or he asked me what my favorite 80s film is, and that's The Breakfast Club, or Blade Runner. Whenever people say 80s film, I always think of the John Hughes type films, and so I'm going to go with The Breakfast Club. And at my work, at the school that I work at for my church, I'm actually in charge of Saturday detention, so I'm kind of like the dean in that movie, so it's really funny. Alright, of course I'm a lot nicer. The first DVD I ever had was 10 Commandments, Rudy, Planet of the Apes, and Shrek. I got them for Christmas when I was younger. My dad got me a Blu-ray player, or not Blu-ray, a DVD player, my first one, and he got me those 4 movies because I really wanted them. How many films do I own? Well, usually it used to be over 1,500. Now it's between 800 and 1,000. And it's because I did a little bit of downsizing. If you want to go back and look at my 1-year vlog that I talk about starting out on YouTube, I discuss why I had to do some downsizing, or why I made the stupid decision to do that. So, alright, PS3 Games and Comic Books asks me what my favorite score is. I already said that with, E.T., what else was it? I said Alexander, Blade Runner, really anything with Hans Zimmer or John Williams or Vangelis as the composer. And there's a lot of others too. Robbie Webster, he's the person who is finishing up the Q&A. He asked me what my favorite president is. I'm trying to not get politics involved with my YouTube channel, and so I'm not really going to go in depth of why I like these presidents or why they're my favorite, but I'm going to go ahead. I broke it up into 3 categories. Before 1800, George Washington is my favorite president. Between 1800 and 1900, Abraham Lincoln. Between 1900 and 2000, Ronald Reagan. And between 2000 and 2010, or even to now, would be George W. Bush. And I'm not going to get into why, just because I don't want politics, which is another one of my passions. I don't want to get into this video in my channel with politics, because I want it just to be about film. And so he also asked me what my most embarrassing moment was. And the one thing came to my mind. One time I was with my wife's family before we got married, and she was driving us to Walmart. We had our licenses, but we were just going to go to Walmart together. And she was dropping us off to let us and everybody who was in the car get out. And I started to get out, and all of a sudden, I guess from the stress, I farted. And so it was really loud, and her mom turns around and goes, "Ryan!" And when anything like that embarrassing happens, you automatically want to blame somebody. And so I went to go look to blame somebody, and I was like, "Look, it's them." But nobody was in the truck, but they all heard it, and so there was nobody to blame. So I got busted for that, and it was really embarrassing. And they still talk about it to this day, even though it was 4 years ago. So, and Robbie also asked me what my favorite sci-fi film was, or my favorite sci-fi film is, and I said Star Wars, which is amazing. I've been obsessed with Star Wars my whole life, and I have a lot of cool Star Wars stuff that I've been collecting that I will definitely show off in a future video. I've shown it in a video before, but I've had a lot of new subscribers since then. I want to share it with you guys again. And that concludes my Q&A, and I have my favorites, 2 installments of my favorites already filmed. I just gotta do the upload. YouTube's been really slow with uploading lately, so it takes me a full HD video that's about 10 minutes long, takes me about 8 hours to upload. And so that's why sometimes it's a couple days between videos. So I'll be starting to put that up tomorrow. Alright guys, thank you very much for these questions, and thank you again for subscribing to me on YouTube and commenting. And remember, there's 3 ways of doing things: the right way, the wrong way, and the Chattaway. See you guys.